Do you ever reach the final point of satisfaction of your wants? Do we ever say we do not need money, means, resources for the satisfaction of our wants? Obviously, never, unless we are seeking salvation and withdrawing from this world. Living in this world, we always need more and keep chasing our desires, knowing well that these will never be fully satisfied. As well as we all take decisions in our daily life. These decisions are with respect to various choices we have before us. The problem of making choices or taking decisions arises because of human wants, desire, aspirations which are endless. Resources are limited, human beings want to maximize their gains. And this problem of making choices and taking decisions arises before all individual, household, firms, and nations. So, economics does not deal with lifeless matters like physics or chemistry. The history of study of economics can be traced from the time of Chanakya Arthashastra to Greek philosopher Aristotle to Adam Smith, who is considered to be founder of modern economics. So, hello everyone. Today we are going to study what is the meaning of traditional economics, what is the meaning of managerial economics, and what are the difference between a traditional economics and managerial economics. So the meaning of economics. So economics originated from the Greek word economikos. Ekios means home and nomos means management. So generally economics means home management. Earlier, the head of the family faces problem of managing the unlimited wants of the family with the limited income of the family. So the same is true for the society also. If we consider the whole society as family, then society also faces the problem of tracking unlimited wants of the member of the society with the limited resources available in the society. Different economists has given different definition of economics over a different period of time. So the definition of economics can be classified into four groups. The first is the wealth definition, the second is the material welfare definition, the third is the scarcity definition, and the fourth is the growth oriented or growth centered definition. So the first definition, that is Adam Smith definition, is wealth definition, which says that economics is a study of nature and causes of nations' wealth, or simply as the study of wealth. So according to this definition, larger amount of the wealth and the betterment of whole society can be achieved by efficient allocation of resources through the market mechanism. Smith identified that with the wealth with welfare. He assumed that wealthier a nation, happier the citizens are. So according to him, economics is a subject that tells us how to make a nation wealthy. So Adam Smith definition is a well-centered definition of economics. But this definition has been criticized due to many reasons, like it lays overemphasis on wealth accumulations and ignores other aspects of human welfare. Then, wealth has been defined in terms of material goods only, for example, foods and clothes. The definition excludes non-material goods such as services of a doctor or lawyer. The assumption of economic man, which has no social responsibility or interest, is faulty. So moving towards the next definition, which was given by Alfred Marshall, the definition is the welfare definition. So Alford also stressed upon the importance of wealth, but he also emphasized the role of individual in the creation and the use of wealth. So according to him, welfare definition says that economics is a study of man in the ordinary business of life. It inquires how he gets his income and how he uses it. Thus, it is on one side the study of wealth, and on the other, and the more important side, the part of study of man. So, Marshall stressed the supreme importance of man in the economic system. So this, if I talk about the features of this particular definition, so in this definition, economics deals with social man living in the society rather than a selfish economic man. The next is economics deals with ordinary business of life which is related to earning and spending of wealth. Next, economics studies only that part of individual and society activities of human being which are concerned with material welfare. So such a welfare is tangible and measurable. And next is this definition has given primary place to man and secondary place to wealth. And according to this definition, economics is a normative science as it suggests different measures for promoting material welfare. But this definition also has certain criticisms. The first criticism was given by Robbins. According to Robbins, the idea of material welfare is vague and uncertain. The concept of welfare changes with time, place, and circumstances, and therefore Robbins has said whatever economics is concerned with, it is not concerned with causes of material welfare at all. The next criticism was this definition of economics does not include non-material goods like services of professionals. It restricts the scope of economics to those activities which promote human welfare. The next criticism was Marshall could not clarify which economic activities are ordinary and which activities are extraordinary. Even extraordinary activities performed during like war, floods are very much part of economics. The next criticism was this definition classifies economic activities into ordinary and extraordinary, material, non-material, human and non-human basis rather than on analytical basis. Then the next criticism, which was also given by Robbins, so Robbins believed that economics is no longer a normative science. It simply explains the nature and extent of economic problem. Therefore, it is a positive science. The next criticism was economics is not a social science, rather a human science. It deals with all economic problems which are faced by human beings. So these were the criticisms of welfare definition given by Alfred Marshall. Then the third definition was given by Robbins. This definition is scarcity definition, and according to Robbins, economics is a science which studies human behavior as a relationship between the ants and scarce means which have alternative uses. So these wants are to be ranked in the order of priorities, and one has to choose between the most urgent and the less urgent wants, and that is why economics is also called science of choice. So we can say that this definition of Robbins emphasized on human wants or needs which are unlimited, and the resources or the means to satisfy these wants are limited, and the limited resources which have alternative uses also. Therefore, an individual or an economy is faced with the problem of allocation of limited resources to various alternative uses so as to make optimum utilization of these resources and to attain maximum benefit. And that is why it is also referred to problem of choice. So Robin considered all type of resources, whether monetary or non-monetary, as a subject matter of economics. Moving further, Samuelson has given modern growth-oriented definition, and this definition says that economics is a study of how people and society end up choosing, with or without the use of money, to employ scarce productive resources that could have alternative uses to produce various commodities over time, and distributing them for consumption now or in the future among various persons or groups in the society. So it analyzes cost and benefits of improving patterns of resource allocation. So Samuelson added to Robbins' definition two more aspects, that was sustained economic growth of the country and equitable distribution of what is produced among all sections of the society. Therefore, we can see economics is now more focused on economic growth and development. So, the general definition of economics says economics is a social science which is concerned with economic questions. It seeks to explain systematically a large variety of questions pertaining to economic behavior of individuals, society, and the economy. Every economy, whether it is a socialistic, capitalistic, or mixed economy, have to face many economic problems like what to produce, how much to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce, problem of fuller utilization of resources, problem of efficiently utilizing the resources, and the problem of economic growth. So economics is a study of how individuals and society choose to use the scarce resources that nature and previous generations have provided. So the key word in the definition is to choose. So economics is a social science, and in large measure it is a study of how people make choices. The choices that people make when added up translate into societal choices. Now, what is microeconomics? Microeconomics is a study of economic phenomena at micro level, that is, an individual or a firm level. So, microeconomics is a study of how individual firms or consumers do or should make economic decisions taking constraints into account. Now, what is managerial economics? So, managerial economics is a microeconomics applied to decisions made by business managers. The study of how to direct scarce resources in a way that most efficiently achieves a managerial goal. So, managerial economics is a science of directing scarce resources to manage more effectively the resources, that is the financial, human or physical resources, and then the management of customers, suppliers, competitors, and the internal organizations and other organizations like business, non-profit, and the household units. So the managerial economics is an applied economics in the sphere of business management. It is an application of economic theory and methodology to decision-making problems faced by the firm. Prime function of management executive in a business organization is decision making and forward planning. So decision making involves selecting an alternative course of action from the number of available alternative, and forward planning means making strategic and operational plans for the future, which helps in the survival and growth in the market. So managerial economics can be viewed as economics applied to facilitate decision making, forward planning, and problem solving at the level of a firm. Again, a definition given by Spencer. Managerial economics is the integration of economic theory with business practice for the purpose of facilitating decision making and forward planning by the management. Now, the difference between the traditional economics and managerial economics. So traditional economics is both micro and macro in nature, while managerial economics is micro in character. Economics is both positive and normative science, but managerial economics is normative in nature. Economics deal mainly with the theoretical aspect only, whereas managerial economics deals with the practical aspects also. Managerial economics studies about the activities of individual firms or unit. It analyzes problem which is micro in nature, whereas economics analyzes both problems which are micro and macro in nature. Economics study human behavior based on certain assumptions, but these assumptions sometimes do not hold good in managerial economics as it is concerned with practical problem. So managerial economics generally adopts, modify, reformulate economic models to suit the specific conditions and serve the specific problem solving process. Managerial economics modifies and enlarges the model, whereas economic theory hypothesizes economic relationship and build simplified models. Economics deals with body of principles itself, but managerial economics involves application of economic principles to the problem of a firm. Managerial under economics, we study only the economic aspect, but in managerial economics, we study both the economic and the non-economic aspect. Economic theory only hypothesizes economic relationship and build simplified economic models, while managerial economics adopts, modified, reformulate economic model to suit the specific condition and serve the specific problem of solving process. Economics deals with the principle underlying rent, wages, interest, profit, while managerial economics deals with the principles of profit only. Sound decision making in managerial economics is considered to be the most important task for the improvement of efficiency of the business firm, but in economics it is not so. The scope of managerial economics is limited and not so wide as that of economics. So it is obvious that managerial economics is very closely related to economics, but its scope is narrow as compared to economics. So we can see the differences here. Point by point to point difference, like on the basis of inclusion, on the basis of positive normative science, on the basis of theory and application, on the basis of problem solving approach, on the basis of scope, on the basis of economic and non-economic nature, on the basis of uh, whether it is a contemporary science or old science. So these differences has been given. So managerial economics is micro in nature. Traditional economics is both micro, macro in nature. Managerial economics is normative in nature. Traditional is both positive and normative in nature. Managerial economics is applied and practical, and traditional economics is theoretical. Managerial economics only studies problem of firm, whereas traditional economics studies problem of firms, individual, and the whole society. Managerial economics scope is limited. Traditional economic scope is wider. Managerial economics is concerned with only economic aspect, whereas traditional economics is concerned with economic and non-economic aspect. Both managerial economics is a new and a dynamic science, whereas traditional economics is an old and well-established science. So that's all for today. Thank you so much.